During the month of June, Mr. Brew and I were backpacking in multiple places along the Rockies. My desire for a really good cup of coffee just kept growing and growing. I couldn't bring my French press up the mountain with me, so I brought instant coffee instead. It occurred to me while I was sipping a cup on my little mountain fire that I didn't actually know what instant coffee was. I hoped that it was made from real coffee, but a part of me was worried that I was consuming a chemically altered and over-processed drink. Once I got back to the city, I knew I had to do some research and figure out what instant coffee really was and how it was made. They take the roasted beans, brew them, and then dehydrate the liquid using one of two different drying methods: spray dry or freeze dry. In this method, the brewed coffee is sprayed in a fine mist through really hot air. The coffee is dehydrated almost immediately, and what is left of the coffee crystals and powder falls to the bottom of the spray zone. This process sounds a little more involved than spray drying. First, the brewed coffee is turned into a coffee extract. It is cooked down and chilled at 20 degrees F until it becomes slushy. That extract is then rapidly chilled to 40 degrees until an ice block forms. The ice blocks are cut into chunks and slowly dried using a low temperature and a vacuum to suck up the water molecules. Both of these processes try to capture the aroma and flavor of a freshly brewed cup of coffee. Although it isn't quite as good, there are good instant coffees out there. Companies like Nescafe and Folgers have worked hard to create good quality instant coffees. If you are going to buy instant coffee, you know that you aren't going to spend a pretty penny on it. At my local H-E-B grocery store, Folgers 7-pack cost 93 cents and the Nescafe French Roast 5-pack was 91 cents. But just because it is cheap doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice great flavor. Upon pouring out the crystals, I noticed that they were a much darker color and carried more of the crystal appearance you find in instant coffee. They dissolved very quickly when I poured the water onto them and required no stirring to mix up the particles. There was a slight froth on the edges of the cup, but not very much. The color remained very dark, almost black. It had a very light, slightly sweet flavor and aroma. The sweetness was slightly acidic, but really not very much. This was a subtle coffee without a lot of complexity going on. The Nescafe French Roast crystals were much lighter in color and looked slightly chalky. They did not dissolve as quickly as the Folgers coffee and did require some stirring. They did maintain much more froth on the surface, even after stirring. The color was less dark than Folgers and gave the appearance of a lighter coffee with more of a brown color. This coffee smelled slightly burnt and had a sharpness to its aromas and flavors. It was slightly smoky, especially in the aftertaste, and was bolder than Folgers. After multiple sips, this coffee continued to have a strong flavor. The winner is Nescafe French Roast. I took both of these coffees with us when we went camping recently. While on the mountain, I really preferred the Nescafe French Roast because of the bold, smoky flavors. The Folgers coffee fell a little flat for me flavor-wise. This might be because I make my coffee really strong and I was searching for the dense flavor profile that the instant coffee didn't have. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.